What's up, it's Marco back on the Stage of Soccer channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Sunday and Monday games from matchweek 14 in the Premier League. It's in the description if you want to get to it. So just starting things off, we had Brighton and Sheffield United tie 1-1. And man, Brighton have to be disappointed with how this game went for them. They'll take the point, but man, it could have been so much more. They were making a lot of chances, but just really wasteful. Up top, Connolly I thought was really disappointing. I think that he's definitely somebody who needs a loan out. Honestly, I was thinking that it might be a good idea to recall Glenn Murray. He's not a starter right now at this stage of his career, but still could be a decent option for them off the bench. Yeah, as I said, they were dominating the ball, but they couldn't really do anything with it. Sheffield had a red card at the end of the first half, but they really weren't able to take advantage. They subbed off Voltman to go with a more attacking system. I think that was a mistake. Voltman is pretty good at going forward and making some chances, and plus the goal that Sheffield did have came down his side. He probably would have been able to stop it. I do want to say that Jahan Bush did have the assist for the goal, I think, so that is something to be granted, but I still think subbing off Faultman was a mistake, and Ben White wasn't looking too good at right back. Otherwise, Sully March, he did have a decent game, but he was keeping everybody on side for that goal for Sheffield, and I don't think that he's really that good at a 4 at the back, left back. Probably a wing back he can do, but not like that. Do want to mention Danny Welbeck. He came up huge with them, got in the goal, and if he can keep firing like that, he can be their 9 for Brighton. They might be able to just ride him out for the rest of the year. So overall, pretty disappointing for Brighton. For Sheffield, I mean, all things considered, it's good to get a point, but this was such a wasted opportunity. They had the lead late into the game, but weren't able to hold on. Just weird goal that Brighton scored. Honestly, could have scored a winner later, but okay, just going through the bad, just getting over with. John Fleck was awful to start the game, and he ended up getting subbed off before halftime. Gonna be tough for him to break it back into the team after that. And Lundstrom also got a red card, so they're down 2 midfielders in the first half. Sander Berge is hurt as well, so and Lundstrom wants to be on his way out, so Ethan Ampatu's gonna have a lot of hard work. And, man, they might look to putting Osborne back in the middle. Yeah, it's not looking too good for Sheffield United right now. On the bright side, Ramsdale, I thought, looked his best he did all year. He was doing well on set pieces, making some good saves. Good performance by him. Oliver Burke came huge. He's somebody who needs to start every game for them. He was looking really good. McGoldrick was good as well. The goal came when Burke combined with Stevens and McGoldrick, and they were able to play through a Bogle on his, it might be his debut in the Premier League for Sheffield, and he was able to score. So, honestly, I think that Bogle might be able to keep playing. He was playing as a right-sided midfielder, and I think a 4-4-1 is what they were going with at that point, and he was looking really good, and I think the back four and playing with wingers really helps. So if they can keep Oliver Burke and Bogle in as like 2 wingers, have McGoldrick up top. They'd have to sign 10 eventually, but yeah, it's looking really good for Sheffield right now. Man of the match for this one's pretty tough game to call man of the match because both teams really would have liked to do better. I was really feeling Danny Welbeck just for being able to come on and get Brighton the goal. I think he was the only striker that really wasn't wasteful, and good game by him. Next, we have Tottenham losing to Leicester, or Leicester beating Tottenham 2-0. And man, Tottenham were not good today. Yeah, this is something that I've been mentioning with Tottenham before. They really should be playing more attacking. They have the talent to do so, but they just kind of capitulate in games. They really weren't looking any dangerous. Thought that Harry Kane was probably going to be disappointed with himself. He was missing a couple of chances they had off of set pieces and headers. That wasn't good. Son wasn't playing his best. Aurier had a really stupid foul. He away a penalty. Lo Celso was playing pretty well, I thought, but he went down injured. He can tackle a lot better than I thought he could. And Arderweireld, he had an own goal, but I thought he was playing well and got kind of unlucky. Sissoko wasn't the greatest. I would have liked better from Højbjerg as well, and they need a free kick taker at Tottenham. Just found that out there. They don't really have any But Harry Kane, he looks like he's going to score whenever he steps up to there, but he always like hits the wall, you know. For Leicester, it was a really good performance. They're keeping a lot of the ball. They're really able to get a lot of possession, and that's something they haven't done against the top team in a while. Ndidi was playing really well. Their defense, Evans and Fofana were having a great game. Fofana won a penalty that Vardy was able to score. And they deserved the lead going into the break, and then Brighton found an amazing cross and crossed into Vardy, and Alderweireld put in an own goal. Tielemans had another great game, and great performance by Leicester. Man of the match, I had Wilfred Ndidi. Next, we have Manchester United beating Leeds 6-2. Man, this was a curb stomp. Jeez. When Scott McTominay scores 2, it's always a bad thing for the other team. But when he scores 2 in the first 3 minutes, Jesus. Aside from him, Bruno, Rashford, even Daniel James are all having great games. The defense wasn't great. They allowed 2 goals, a set piece, another one, but yeah. Can't really complain about a 6-2 win against a pretty big rival. For Leeds, defense sucked. That's all you can really say about that. Terrible performance, and I'm getting kind of nervous about them going into the Christmas period because they play with a lot of energy pressing. They have to spend a lot of energy, and this team doesn't have the most depth. So they're either going to have to start playing some worse players, or they're going to be just out of energy, and you'll get more games like this. So a little bit concerned about Leeds right now. Great performance by United. Man of the match, it sucks to not give it to McTominay just for his opening few minutes, but Bruno had just an amazing game, so I'm getting to Bruno Fernandes. Last game on Sunday, we had Aston Villa defeat West Brom 3-0. Man, Villa had a really quick start with Bertrand Traore finding El Ghazi for the opener. And yeah, West Brom did not get into this game. They kept pressure on, and Jack Grealish forced Jake Livermore into a red card. And yeah, after that, West Brom could not get anything going forward. They were pushing on for a second for a while. They weren't able to get it until Jack Grealish played in Traore. He had a really nice finish to get it past Johnston. And later, Jack Grealish won a penalty for El Ghazi to convert. And yeah, great game by Aston Villa. Great game by Grealish. John McGinn was looking really good. Douglas Luiz, he was making a lot of stops. He had a really important tackle on a breakaway to stop Matt Phillips from trying to do something. That was probably West Brom's best chance. He just snuffed out at midfield. For West Brom, not a Sam Allardyce performance. The defense just got ripped open. Furlong should have been better on the first goal. Later, Jake Livermore, he had a really dumb red card, and just as a veteran on a team that's struggling for relegation, you can't do that. They let in some more goals later and offered nothing going forward. I mean, this is going to be a tough ask for Big Sam to keep this team up, but if anybody can do it, he can. So, man of the match, I really like Jack Grealish's performance. Traore had a really nice game, but Grealish forcing that red card, and just great game by him. Next, we had a surprise result as Burnley were able to beat Wolves 2-1, and Burnley had a really decent game attacking. Barnes was able to pick up a goal in the air, and Chris Wood was able to pick up one later, and they were just doing what you expect them to do. There's the big guys, put them on the center backs, win headers, and it was working really well for them. I think it's the first time all year that strategy really worked, and good to see Wood and Barnes getting going if you're a Burnley fan. Defense was really solid, aside from Benson, who came on and gave away a dumb penalty in 5 seconds. I mean, there's not too much to talk about with Burnley. Really good performance. The midfield was working hard. Strikers did their job. Defense did well. Probably their best result of the season for them. For Wolves, it was not a great performance, and just a couple of things. Just team selection and players' results, and it wasn't that good. I thought Ruben Neves had a really bad game. He's someone that I really expect more of, but he's been having a pretty bad year, all things considered, and this was not a good game by him. Maybe he needs to change his position, or I don't know, maybe he just is in a really bad route of form, but he's not too good. They started American Owen Atawasawi as a 10 or a false 9. He was always the furthest man forward in the midfield, and he's more of a defensive midfielder, at least from everything that I know for the USA team. So I was just kind of perplexed with how they were playing him. I mean, he showed a couple of decent moments, but just couldn't get involved in the game at all, just by his positioning. It was a really weird idea. Defensively, the left side was really weak with Roman Saiz and Net Nori. They were at fault for the first goal, and Net Nori is not a great defender. He really should not be starting, in my opinion. Kilman was put on the right side defense, and I think that screwed him up as a left-footed player. And what was it of all the left-footed center backs? It's weird. But, yeah, I feel like he didn't have his best game. Really think that Boley should have been starting, but he's not been on the greatest form, but I don't think you could take him out of the team. They do really need to sign a striker in the winter window. Fabio Silva did have a pretty good game when he came on, but I don't think he's somebody you can really rely on. And Podence and Neto, I think they had a pretty decent game, but them two as Crystal Palace did that winger thing with Wilfred Zaha and Andros Townsend a couple years ago. That does not work for them. Patricio had a good game. Traore did well when he came on. As I mentioned, Fabio Silva did well, but not a great game by them. Man of the match, I really liked Ben Mee in his defensive role for Burnley. Last game of the week, we had Chelsea beating West Ham, and really good game by Chelsea. Started off well with a Thiago Silva header off a corner, and it was a good start, but the game kind of evened out after the goal. You had Pulisic, he was doing really well. He was making a lot of chances, going on some good runs for them. After that, Timo Werner was not having a good game. He was missing a lot of chances. He did have an assist later to salvage the game, but he's not doing well out wide for Chelsea. And honestly, he reminded me of a Daniel James performance today. He was his pace is basically the only thing he's on the field for. He wasn't that good. Tammy Abraham had a really good game. He got a couple of goals. I thought Mason Mount was playing really well. He crossed to Timo Werner. He found Timo Werner before his cross for the third goal. And yeah, great games by Mount, Abraham, Pulisic. At the back, Thiago Silva and Timo Werner were solid. Azpilicueta and Emerson did well when they were called on. Ben Chilwell did get hurt. That's the only real downside for the game. But yeah, really good result by Chelsea. For West Ham, it was a really weird game because bad response to, they let it go off a set piece, and that's something you don't really expect. They're a really good team aerially with Ogbonna, Rice, and Souček. So that was kind of weird for them. They had a good response to the goal. They were keeping the game pretty even for a while, but they just couldn't find the finish. That was probably they could have gotten back into the game, but they weren't able to, and Chelsea were able to get a goal late on. Cresswell kept Abraham on side, but he was having a great game before that. The attack wasn't that great. I liked Rice's performance today, but he wasn't anything special, and not a great game defensively. Not the greatest performance by West Ham, but it's a loss to Chelsea away from home. I mean, yeah, not the biggest deal. So, man of the match for the game, I think Tammy Abraham, so I'm going to have to go with 2 goals, and yeah, that's about it. A couple of really nice games for this weekend. And you had that Liverpool smash, that Manchester United game, a lot of goals this weekend, and yeah, that's all to talk about. See you.